We have John from Canada who wants to talk to us. John, you are live on Truth Wanted. What's going on?
Dan, Chris, how are you?
John, doing great. Doing great.
Good. Excellent. I heard you guys speaking about aliens, and I found it interesting that you're talking about aliens. But I was thinking, according to the Bible, they say that God created man in his own likeness, that we literally look like him. So if we find extraterrestrial life that looks completely different from us, wouldn't that be a contradiction? Or, okay, at the very least, that should make Christians pause in their belief. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of explored this topic before a little bit on the show, right? So, like, I think a big reason why Christians have a hard concept with aliens because it does kind of go against that whole narrative, right? I've heard some Christians say, well, if aliens do exist, then Jesus died for them too, right? So that's an idea that's out there. But like the whole, humans are supposed to be special and we have our own free will and stuff. Like if you're a young earth creationist, like you can't vibe with aliens because our intellect and our desires and everything kind of comes from very specific stories that have to be real that aliens just kind of really wouldn't fit in the picture of. So yeah, I imagine if you're a fundamentalist Christian, you have a hard time with aliens, right, Chris?
Oh yeah. It's interesting is we were talking earlier about the human species seems to be one of the few, probably not the only, but one of the few species that we don't look alike among our own group. There's a very wide. So which one of us looks like God? Is it the tall white people? Is it the short brown people? Is it the heavy people? Which one does God have foreskin?
Well,
I don't want to think about his image. Okay.
I mean, I guess he didn't at some point on Earth when he was doing the Earth thing. I think he didn't, right? Because he was Jewish.
Maybe that's it.
I don't know. We're just putting out thoughts, John. What do you think?
Thoughts. What do you think, John?
It's just a thing that you spoke about, saying that Christians say that if aliens were found, God would make them too, and he died for them. See, but here's the reality. Okay, I won't say the reality, but here's what Ken Ham, the founder of Answers in Genesis, says. He says that if it's impossible, or it wouldn't make sense that God would create aliens, because if he did, that means that they're sinners too, which means that he would have to die for them. And if he creates aliens on each planet, that means he would have to do the whole death and resurrection thing on each planet, and he wouldn't want to do that. So therefore, it makes sense to him, that is, that he only made life here. And to quote Ken Ham, he said, "God came down to be the God Man, not the God Klingon."
Maybe
he's really limiting his God, isn't he? His God's pretty small if all he can do is Earth. There's trillions of universes or of galaxies out there. That's
maybe
a really
God
small
has.
God.
Yeah, maybe God has a different son. Yeah, maybe Jesus is the sort of Earth version, but then we also have
Jesus.
No, I don't know. Jesus maybe, or Nesus, right? For like some other civilization. I don't know. Like, why has it got to just be that? Then it's I guess that messes with the Trinity a little bit. Maybe
it does a little bit.
I don't know.
It's
all silly speculation. Doesn't really matter.
I think if here's the deal: if they go out and we find an extraterrestrial intelligent species, and they don't look like us, which is most likely, I think that's going to be like a nothing. Nobody's going to think nothing. It won't really rock most religious people. None of that business. If they do look like us, that's going to be a game changer. That's going to be the odds of them looking like us are significantly small. So if they look like us, either we came from them, they came from us, or as your God would have it, created humans in different places. So yeah, I think that's the only time it would get weird is if they were like us.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're saying. We're not going to find Vulcans or Superman.
No,
maybe. Well, I don't know. Probably not, though. Probably not.
As we mentioned earlier, statistically speaking, it's almost certain that trillions upon trillions, something else. But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, John. I think we're on the same page here on this, though. Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, Dan, I heard you also saying that there was a show a long time ago where they put a ninja from feudal Japan against a pirate. The show that you're talking about is called The Deadliest Warrior.
That's right. Deadliest Warrior. Thank you for reminding me on that.
I didn't know they had a game.
Yeah, they had a video game,
cool.
and apparently it's terrible. So, of course, right?
Yeah,
but that is like I thought about something. I thought about like a Deadliest Warrior sort of podcast version where you just take historical figures, right? So like if you had to take Amelia Earhart versus like Harriet Tubman, for example, like who would win that fight, right? Or you get like, Abraham Lincoln versus John F. Kennedy. You put them in the ring. Who's going to win? I don't know. To me, that would be something.
Amelia Earhart against Abraham Lincoln. Come on, let's get some
stuff. Okay,
here.
all right, okay, women. Yeah, let's do some empowerment. I like that. That. That should be a new thing. Anyway, History Channel, contact me, and we can make it happen. But I don't know. I don't think they'll pick me up on that. Yeah. But
tough call.
Well, Dan, before I leave, I'm gonna suggest one last matchup with a good matchup. Do you want to hear it?
Okay, yeah. Go give it to me. What do you got?
Objective Dan versus Matt Dillahunty.
Listen, I'll take Matt on any day of the week. Okay, listen, that's no issue.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable saying that because I know Matt. So, but it's not a contest. But anyway, if we're talking physically now in a debate, some people might say differently. I still think I could win, but don't tell them I said that. Okay.
But Dan's like 7 feet tall. Dan is not a little man. Dan is huge.
That's true. I am a much bigger guy.
Big man.
Compared to Matt. Also, Matt is like kind of older than me, so there's a thing there too. But we should do it with this is a good idea though, because for a future sort of atheist community of Austin event, we're always talking about okay, how do we draw people in? Maybe we do just need to get our own version of just getting all the content creators in one room and just have them fight it out, just box it out. Maybe that's something we got to do to get those numbers up. I don't know. But anyway, John, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
I want a battle royale against Godless Granny.
Godless Granny, yeah. The Godless Granny sweep.
I'm supremely confident I can take her, or I can outrun her. One or the other. I could either take her, or I could outrun her.
I can see it.
Godless Granny, if you're out there.
Yeah, we do need sort of we need to make up the bracket. I think of who would win. See, and we were talking about Jimmy. Jimmy Jr. Would do an absolute sweep because he's got that military training. Okay, and so
he's got a bald head.
He's got a bald head, which makes it, in the sunlight would distract you, because the light kind of shines off that. So that's true as well. So I don't. Yeah, we could lay out the specs at some point.